Well, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, another brand new day. It is, oh boy. I'll get into that, though. First off, Shelton, Washington, weather, plague, rat, and spider report, just so that I don't forget. Weather-wise, well, it was cold. It's finally gotten cold. It is cold outside. And so I can't go out with just a shirt and, well, 2 shirts anymore. I put on my summer jacket as well, and that does fine. I roll the sleeves down, and that keeps my forearms warm, which means the rest of my body is warm. I have to just wear just a summer jacket even in the coldest winter, because cover up my arms and do physical activity, and I overheat like that. So I have to just wear a summer jacket and then keep it so I can free my forearms very quickly when I can feel myself overheating, so that I roll those up and then I walk around with an unzipped summer jacket with my sleeves rolled up when it's snowing. So thumbs up for that. So anyway, though, it's finally gotten cold, and let's tie in with the spider report, because that ties in with the cold. The 2 spiders over in the window, the one next to the box fan and the one in the corner, they're doing well. But because of the cold, I need to move the box fan out of the window so I can shut it. Not fully, it's going to stay open about this much so that the cat can get in and out. But up until then, I mean, it's wide open right now, and it needs to go so that it's only this open. But there's that one spider. And with her web, when I turn on the box fan by plugging it in, the vibration from the box fan, because of one of her anchor webs going to the box fan, it vibrates her web and puts her into high alert. Her web's going to have to come down. I can either freeze and let the spider stay, or I can warm up some, and that means the spider's got to move. Now, I'm not going to kill her, of course. I'm going to take like this part of this stick and just take the web apart, try and get her, and then outside, and then she'll be outside, and then I'll shut the window, which will irritate another spider. And this is kind of amusing in a, it's fun to watch the world sort of way. Oh, there, I gotta crack these knuckles, because, oh, they stick and hurt. Yay. There's one of those, or at least there was. I couldn't see it this morning. I don't know if it's still there. But there was a tiny body, long spindly leg spider in the corner. Now, when I say the corner, I mean the corner of the window. The window is open, and the edge of the window and the window frame, there's about this much space. That spider was in there. I wanted to see how big the spider in the corner was. So I was trying to hold up a quarter and get it as close to her as I could, so that I could judge her, size to a quarter. Now, some spiders have excellent vision. Excellent vision. I'm 2 feet away, at least, from that spider in the window, the little tiny body, long spindly leg ones. But she saw me reaching out with a quarter, even from a distance of 2 feet, and went straight into defense mode. Which, for a spider of their size, if you see them like spinning, if you see the spider just going in a big circle as it spins its web around, that's it. Or I'm being scary, run away motion. And so she was trying to scare me by whipping her body around because she saw me reaching out real close to her. And so that was like, I went, oh, you've intimidated me so much, I'm so frightened, oh no. And backed up and let them go. But that's going to tear her web apart. Poor spiders. It's got to happen though. I need to shut it before it gets really cold. Thumbs up on that. But double checking my list of things to talk about, because with my memory I need to make at least a partial list on these things. Yes, this is one thing. I talked about this just yesterday, and I talked about this before. I had dangling off of the edge of my desk from a bit of silk a little larvae, and I wasn't quite sure what larvae was. And I had one dangling off the edge of the cage here a bit ago. I figure those must be moth larvae, caterpillars, tiny little caterpillars. Because I have, on that wall above my computer, a whole bunch of tiny little moths. There's like 3 or 4 of them there, and possibly even more. So somewhere in this room, a moth laid eggs. Now, what do moths eat? Because I don't have like wool or cotton or stuff, and there's not like stuff around in this room for bugs to eat. So what do moths eat? They must eat, moths don't necessarily eat pollen. I don't know. It seems weird, but for whatever reason, a moth laid eggs in here and they hatched, and there's been a bunch of moth caterpillars running around. How about that? I don't mind. It's just weird to... I even had one on my monitor just the other day. And they're not maggots. They're actual just larvae of things like moths. For a while back when I still had my hamsters back here and I was feeding them milk bones, if you have milk bones for your dogs, hamsters like them too, but if you have milk bones for your dogs, take a look at them. If you break them open, you'll likely find boll weevil larvae inside of them, at least one per. Because I would break up the things and then there'd be bugs, little larvae in them. Or I'd break them up and then the larvae would crawl out of the pieces, and then I'd have little boll weevil larvae crawling around on my top here, because that's where I'd set the pieces so that they could just sit until the next time the hamsters were hungry. So you never know where you're going to get little insect larvae, and it doesn't mean you're a terrible person or unclean. It's just like you're going to get larvae. Where bugs outnumber us incredibly, even with everything we're doing to the climate. Even though there are some bug populations that are sinking depending on the type of insect, you could probably wipe out half of the insect biomass on the planet and they would still outnumber us and outweigh us. So there's a lot of bugs out there. Which also ties into this. I can't remember if I talked about it before, but I'm going to talk about it now. One of the things that seems kind of gross when you buy insects to eat, because 80% of the world's population, human, eats insects on purpose as a food source. It's only if you're like American or something like that, where the idea of eating insects is repulsive. But 80% of the world eats insects on purpose. And I'd always wondered, how come they if you can get, there's canned moths and such you can get from places like Japan. And they're little candied moths. But they're the full things with wings and everything. And I'd always wondered, well, why don't they de-wing them? Why don't they try to clean parts of them off like that? Because if you eat an insect, you're eating its legs, the head, the wings, all those various parts. And the thing comes down to natural polymers. The human natural polymer is keratin. And a polymer is just, our form of plastic. Because artificial plastics, the plastics that we make our junk out of, is just long chains of artificial molecules that forms a large, long chain, an object, a block, a polymer. We have polymers, long blocks of natural molecules, and that's keratin for human beings. Our nails, our skin, our hair, a lot of our body parts are made out of keratin. For plants, the large polymer is cellulose. For insects and fungus, the polymer is chitin. Now, one of the weird things about chitin and what makes it so odd is chitin is a saccharide. A saccharide is a form of glucose. Glucose is a form of sugar. Bugs are made out of sugar. Your body breaks everything down that you eat into glucose. And bugs are made out of a form of glucose. So yeah, eating the legs, eating their heads, eating all of their little wings and stuff, that's just That's just a form of sugar. How bizarre. I can't say eating bugs is sweet, because when I was younger, I had talked with people who had eaten a lot of like chocolate ants, and they said at first that was fine, but when they had a full tummy of this stuff, it was like they had drank a glass of vinegar, and it felt that way. So that was likely the ant insides, since after all they don't clean out the inside of the ant or any of the other insects. So thumbs up. I mean, you can't open and clean out an insect because they're hydraulic. They're skeletons on the outside. The inside is just gooey and slimy like crabs. You crack them open, you pour them out, and they're hydraulic. Thumbs up for that. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. So yeah, I figure the larvae crawling around are probably moth larvae. After all that. While I was on walkies last night, though, I was thinking about my life and feeling bad about, I barely know my children. I have a daughter, a son, and an older son who lives in Montana along with my daughter. So I have one child that lives here. My daughter is almost 20. My oldest is in his mid-20s. My youngest is about 18 right now. And I was just thinking about the dumpster fire situation their lives were, because I need to call up my son again and talk to him. And I was thinking about, I'd done such a terrible job of all this. And I remembered and realized, the whole situation with my wife dying in front of me, with my background, with my ADD that I didn't even know about, with everything happening, the issues with my children, the issues with everything going on, I was effectively, as just a human being, given no training in firefighting, given no equipment to fight fires, given no water to fight fires with, and was thrown into a multi-fire situation with my hands tied around my back. Because there was the forest fire of my wife dying. There was the forest fire of us having to give up our kids. There was the forest fire of my life as I was trying to hold things together with my ADHD and all this stuff happening. Is it any wonder that things are kind of a nightmare mess now? No training, no equipment, and thrown into a situation that I don't even think a professional could have walked away from intact. So I gotta be nicer to myself on this situation. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, I need to pick up and try and see what I can do to get back into my children's life, but I'm lucky that I and they and those of us that did survived it. Call that a plus and a victory. So I'm trying to be nicer and better to myself, and that's good. Let me check here my thing on the side. And one of the things that I just wanted to quickly talk about, I didn't talk about it yesterday because it's political and politics are divisive, and I don't like that. But one of the big things that's really come around now in the United States is people are really, really, really starting to understand, those of us that aren't under the spell, that aren't just looking at people in cages and the economy going down and 200,000 dead and going, he's doing a great job. The official stance that is really starting to horrify even the people that have been wearing their blinders up to this time is it has become clear, and it is clear, the idea for the United States is everybody gets the bug. Everybody. There is no way to avoid it. You will get it. You're supposed to get it. You have to get it. And the weak will simply die. And remember, the big Republican base is pulled around from the down south U.S. And in the down south U.S., weakness is despised. If you are weak in some way, like you get sick, you are ostracized and dropped because you are weak. You got sick. You are despised because of that. So yeah, the official stance is get sick, and if you're weak, goodbye. So thumbs up. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. Afterward, I'm going to go through and thumbs up, read, answer as many as I can, but for right now, just thank you for having left a comment. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count an American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibro, ADHD, mourning, and more, I'm amazed I can remember my own name sometimes. So, excuse me. We have Musin Mansour. Thank you very much, and I bet I'm absolutely wrong on the pronunciation. Utah Outcast. They have a very, very good podcast type thing, so check them out. They're awesome. Confused Owl 29, thumbs up and thank you. Elder Wolf 569, good to see you. Subway Taco Man, thumbs up. We have Irish Polar Bear. That would be an interesting polar bear. Thumbs up and thank you. There's Aliyah Chavez, thank you. Russian Timing, boy, I hope you feel better today. Hope he smokes. Try Salty, thumbs up and thank you. Royal Ultimate PG3D, thumbs up. Cody, with an exclamation point, thank you very, very much. Made in Canada, thumbs up and thank you. Good to see you in the comments. David Kingkill, thumbs up and thank you. William Tickler, I like the name, thank you very, very much. We have Bua Kamoli, thumbs up and thank you. Colin Reisenauer, thumbs up. Bad Bitch, I'm feeling better, so it's a good thing. YN, thumbs up and thank you. We have Roger Mitchell, 111, thumbs up. Luna River, greatly appreciated. Yuki likes hot potatoes, good to see you in the comments. Yak TV, I'm actually coming to like your comments as well, good to see you. And Snuffkin's Gay Ass, another person that I've come to really appreciate seeing in the comments, thank you. Ultimate Monk, thumbs up and thank you. And last but not least, Tyler N. Greatly appreciated. Each and every one of you, you get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, if only in text, and that's a good thing. Hopefully this upcoming payday, I'm going to get a lower luminosity bulb for my fixture up there. That's just way too bright for the PS4 camera. Thumbs up. Anyway though, thank you so much, each and every one of you. It is greatly appreciated. And if you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. I still need to fix my GoFundMe, and I promise you I will eventually. If you could donate to, well, become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money through the Patreon.com, I have an Amazon wishlist link as well. That one's actually not the money link. The money link is the PayPal link. The Amazon wishlist one is if you want to help me out without sending money. If you could check that out, that would be cool. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence, a definite thumbs up, and of course, if you could smack the notification bell on the subscription button, that too would be cool. I don't know if it works, I don't know if it does anything, but YouTube gives you the opportunity, so why not give it a shot? Anyway though, I've got this video here. I have the second half of a video that I need to finish editing and then render and upload, so thumbs up on that. I've got stuff to do. Hopefully you've got stuff to do. It's good to stay busy, if only for your own entertainment. Because, well, at least in my case, when I'm not busy, the darkness starts to creep in through the cracks. Now, I don't know if that's in your case, but it's, if you want to stay busy, stay busy. And if you don't, hey, do whatever you like. That's very cool. So remember, the lobster hat wearing duck head of judgment has a surplus of scorn and is always ready to cast it upon those it feels necessary. Do not disappoint the lobster hat wearing duck head of judgment. And of course, Black Lives Matter. Damn it. And justice for everybody, that the jack-booted, brown shirt wearing fascist thugs in police uniforms keep brutalizing and murdering on U.S. American streets. And please, wear a mask when you go out. Wash your hands and try not to touch your face. Practice social distancing. It's painful, I know, but it works. And of course, There was an of course on that, but I can't remember what it was. It had to do with masks, but now I can't remember. Still though, that's okay. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. So I'll see you.